All right, so this little video clip is just regarding some other types of batteries that are out there. Besides lithium polymer batteries, there are other types that are used in the world of drones and things like that. Up here on the screen, this is a battery pack that I believe is maybe DIY or homemade. Looks kind of like a IED or something, but it's not. It's a battery, and it you can see up there in the upper corner it gives kind of some of the specs for the battery. We have a 4S 30 amp Pro battery BMS for this battery management board up here, and then the battery itself is a 14.4 volts, so 4S 3.7 times 4 is 14.4, and then I have a 6,800 milliamp hours. So that's the capacity and the voltage of the battery. We can see though, interestingly enough, right, we're talking about series and parallel here a little bit ago. We actually have each one of these cylindrical items as a cell. So we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cells. So this would not be just a 4S battery, it would be a 4S 2P battery because there's cells in parallel and in series. And you can go through and look at how they soldered the batteries together as well and kind of decipher that a little bit if you want to. Okay, but we have an example there of a lithium ion battery. These are lithium ion cells. You can kind of see it right there, lithium ion. But anyways, these kind of cells are really common in a lot of things, including electric cars even. Cells have thousands of these in an electric car or something like that. Here's another photograph of another kind of homemade battery pack. This is, just 4 battery cells here, and the person has wired them up, I would imagine in series to be a 4S battery, one piece, and there's none in parallel. And here's a little kind of page talking about these cells and of themselves. These 18650 cells is what they're called. These are actually commonly used in RC transmitters, like if you have the TX12 radio from Radio Master or the Radio Master Pocket or something like that. They use these type of batteries, and it refers to the battery's size. So we have 18 millimeters in diameter, 65 millimeters tall, and then the 0 refers to the shape of the battery being a cylinder rather than like a rectangular battery or a soft pack kind of pouch battery or whatever it might be. There's different types, of course, and the cylindrical type is very common. 18650s are pretty common in the drone world. There's other types of batteries out there. Lithium polymer high voltage batteries can be charged up higher than 4.2 volts. There's lithium, I can't remember what it is, LIFE batteries. The other types out there, but honestly, the most common you'll see in the world of drones are lithium polymer batteries as well as lithium ion batteries. The main trade-off there is lithium ion batteries are a bit more energy dense, so they can store more power per physical size, but they do typically, the ones we fly with anyways, have these hard cases, so it adds a little bit more weight there. You can also typically discharge lithium ion batteries to a lower voltage, so below 3.0 volts per cell. You can discharge them lower than that sometimes and still be okay. So you can get more power out of the battery for longer periods of time. However, the trade-off is the lithium ion cells can't typically support as much power at once. So having a vehicle like a racing drone that has a very high power to weight ratio, you go full throttle, you're asking for a lot of power. Lithium ion batteries can't typically supply that many amps in those scenarios. So they're more reserved for kind of either easy cruising on a long-range quadcopter, or perhaps a fixed wing and an airplane style drone that doesn't have as much of a requirement for amp draw as like a racing quad would. And long-range quads and planes are great for flying for long amounts of time. So you want a battery that's going to last a long time. And that's one thing that lithium-ion batteries are really good at. So, all right, we'll wrap it up at that segment.